Hey guys, Day here. The Syndicate has changed a lot over the years, and with some of the upgrades to the Syndicate mechanic this league, it has become the most profitable master mission to date, and one that very few players truly understand. To test its limits myself, as a die-hard Syndicate fan, I ran 300 Jun Master missions on City Square, and to my surprise, earned over 250 Exalted Orbs in profit. It took me 26 hours to run these missions on my super slow League Start Skeleton Mage build, and a few more hours to sell everything, making my returns a shocking 8.5 Exalts per hour in profits when you include the extra time it took to sell everything. Syndicate is unbelievably profitable, and despite it being a free master mission that everyone can do, most players don't really know how to make the most of its potential. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing the modern approach to manipulating the Syndicate for absurd currency gains, talking about why it's so effective, and share important tips to maximize the master mission that stands above them all. On top of that, whether you have any interest in Jun Syndicate or not, I'll also be highlighting the essential traits to any mapping strategy that aims to make a rapid profit, and how I employed those principles in this farming approach. This video is sure to have something cool to learn or that you may find interesting. If you're brand new to Jun and the Syndicate, I recommend watching Novandis Gaming's video in the description first, as this video is intended for players with a bit more experience under their belt, because I'm just going to gloss over the basics. The video linked is a bit out of date, being a year old, but it still does a great job at highlighting the basics, and any errors in his video I will be updating in my video here. Generally speaking, the Syndicate board is divided up into 4 separate branches. As you encounter the Syndicate in maps and defeat its masters, you will get the option to manipulate the Syndicate board, such as building relationships, ranking up Syndicate masters, or moving them around into different branches. Each Syndicate master provides unique rewards that changes depending on which of the 4 Syndicate branches they are in. Moving masters into branches where they offer profitable rewards is the core principle to using the Syndicate in general. As you encounter the Syndicate, you can build intelligence towards branch safehouses, often by temporarily imprisoning its members, and eventually run the safehouses themselves. One of the most important concepts to recognize is that if you run any of the 4 branch safehouses, you imprison their leaders, who will then provide intelligence to the Mastermind Safehouse. When the Mastermind Safehouse is run, where you fight Katarina, know that it has a unique trait. The Mastermind Safehouse will take every single master who is currently allocated in a safehouse and create a reward room for it, and add +1 to its rank. This +1 rank bonus is not present when running any of the 4 basic branch safehouses. For example, Gravicius, who is at maximum rank 3, would normally give a Gilded Divination Scarab as his reward in Intervention. But in the Mastermind Safehouse, he now becomes rank 4 and gives a Winged Divination Scarab, an otherwise unobtainable item from running normal branch safehouses. Moving members into a safehouse where they provide valuable rewards, ranking them up to their maximum rank 3, and then running the Mastermind Safehouse to upgrade them to the extremely valuable rank 4 reward and make one giant safehouse is at the core of this Syndicate farming approach. Now, when you are planning which members to put where, I have a personal tier list on which members are most profitable in this league, linked in the description for your reference. Essentially, having Aisling in Research is the #1 must-have member. At rank 3 in Research, she is useless, but at rank 4, she offers an extremely valuable veiled crafting option that players will purchase from you for around 3 Exalts this league. Other valuable members include It That Fled in Research, who at rank 3 offers 1 Breachstone upgrade, and at rank 4, 2 Breachstone upgrades, profiting at around 50 Chaos each at the moment. Hillock is also extremely valuable in any of the safe houses except Intervention, as he allows you to upgrade armor and weapon quality to 30% or 28% for a flask, which players will buy from you for around an Exalt. Verici in Tier 4 Research gives you 1 to 6 white socket upgrades, which can sell for around 30 to 50 Chaos per socket. And Leo in Research gives you the option to slam an Exalted Orb on an item, which you can personally use or sell as well. Furthermore, many other members at Tier 4 in Intervention offer valuable winged scarabs, some worth over 40 chaos each this league. Prices of all of these can vary from league to league and day to day as market influences change, but in general, the profits are undeniable. For example, you can see this Mastermind Safehouse is ready to run. I have Hillock at rank 3 in Fortification, Aisling, Leo, and Verici are rank 3 in Research, and in Intervention, I have 5 members who all offer valuable scarabs at max rank 3. I can then run the Mastermind Safehouse, which offers a reward room for every single member allocated in a Safehouse, and turns their normal level 3 rewards into the rare and extremely valuable rank 4 rewards. Pretty simple, right? All you gotta do is run a few Safehouses to get Mastermind Intelligence up, move members where you want and rank them up, and then run the Mastermind Safehouse to reap the rewards. Easy, right? Well, mostly. Given that Jund Master missions are free, it doesn't hurt at all to go into the Syndicate with a basic understanding and slowly learn and gradually work your way to a big profit mastermind. However, if you truly want to maximize the potential of the Syndicate, knowing the strategies to rapidly generate high-value Mastermind Safehouses while minimizing mistakes is essential, and will save you dozens of master missions of struggle and hours of time. Firstly, if you plan on farming Jund specifically, you can buy Jund Mission Sextants, and the Atlas passives are extremely strong to have. Test of Loyalty lets you rank up members twice as fast. Effective Leadership makes leaders more likely to appear, a must-have given how rare they can be. Bribery is not necessary, but I take it anyway, and Intelligence Gathering is great for more passive branch Safehouse intelligence. But in some instances, it can be a big mistake to have allocated, and I'll touch on that later. The real insane boost to Syndicate farming this league is this Sextant, valued at only 4 chaos at the moment, and I would buy it even if it was quadruple the price. This allows you to get double intelligence towards Safehouses, including the Mastermind Safehouse. Let me walk you through why this is so powerful. After completing a Mastermind Safehouse, your entire Syndicate board resets. Members lose their ranks and relationships, become unidentified, and shuffle all around. However, the one factor that remains the same is that intelligence progression on the individual Safehouses remains. On this Syndicate board, before ever running the Mastermind, I had already intentionally maxed out the intelligence on at least 2 Safehouses, in this case Research and Intervention, and that maxed intelligence was preserved. Fortification has 3% intelligence as well, which was also preserved. If you run these 2 Safehouses as they are now, which you should, you can imprison their leaders, which will give you 10 intelligence per turn at baseline for 30 total each towards the Mastermind, which requires 100 intelligence to run. The leaders also become identified on your board, and while there will be an additional member in the Safehouse, they will not be identified in the same way, but you can look at them when they come through the portals and memorize their presence. With both leaders of these 2 Safehouses imprisoned and giving 10 intelligence to the Mastermind per turn for 3 turns each, that would make it out to be around 60 intelligence total at baseline after their prison course is done. However, by using the Sextant that doubles intelligence gain, they can give 120 intelligence over 3 turns, maxing out the Safehouse. Each turn being a single Syndicate encounter in maps. To illustrate, I applied the Sextant and ran a map. After 1 turn, Katarina is at 40 intelligence. After a second turn, 80. After a third, maxed out to completion and ready to run, all within a single map right after the Mastermind. The nightmarish alternative to doing this is trying to run individual Safehouses for Mastermind intelligence while also trying to move members into the right places, which is very difficult and often results in many wasted missions. This Sextant and using it in this way is a huge time and mission saver. After the Mastermind is ready and the map is done, you can pick up the Sextant again because it's not really needed most of the time and it allows you to save some currency. With the Mastermind Safehouse ready, the rate limiting step to running it is now just getting members in their right Safehouse and ranking them up. As another example, you can see on screen here a Syndicate board that is incredibly powerful. Aisling, Hillock, Ithat Fled, and Verici all rank 3 in Research, plus a bunch of valuable Scarab-producing Masters in Intervention. I have also intentionally maxed out the intelligence on at least 2 safehouses. This is much easier to do when all your members are all high rank, as they provide more intelligence compared to after just running a mastermind when everyone is unranked and unidentified. In my mind, the 2 main conditions to run the Mastermind Safehouse have been met. Lots of big money members ranked up giving big rewards, and at least 2 safehouses with max or near max intelligence at the ready. These 2 conditions give me an obviously juicy Mastermind Safehouse and will allow me to rapidly begin generating intelligence towards the next Mastermind Safehouse immediately, setting me up for success on my next cycle of Jun Master missions. In some cases during my runs, I would have a Mastermind Safehouse with members set up and ready to run for multiple Exalts of Profit after just 2 maps, which is absolutely insane. There are a few important mechanics to remember to min-max your success. When you encounter the Syndicate in maps, the member that initially appears will always be a member of the branch, but never the leader. As you engage the Syndicate, supporting masters will come in through portals to join in on the fray. After you defeat them, you will get options to manipulate the Syndicate board. You should definitely browse, with your goal being to move members into the right safehouses so they can generate powerful rewards. In the past, you needed to have some kind of relationship between members to rank them up, but that is no longer the case. You will get the option to rank up a member most of the time if there are at least 2 members present on the ground, regardless of whether you have a relationship or not. Ranking up unranked free agents can bring them into a safehouse, and ranking them down to level 0 will remove them from a safehouse and make them an unranked free agent that is free to shuffle around. If you identify one of your ideal members, like Aisling for example, in the wrong safehouse, you generally need to rank her down until she becomes an unranked free agent before you can rank her up again into research, where she offers her most valuable crafting modifier. Furthermore, in the years past, having a member in the leader position was valuable. It would offer double the rewards when a branch safehouse was run. However, now the leadership position offers no bonuses and is actually detrimental to your progress. Because the leader is never the initial member in the Syndicate encounter and can only come in through portals to support, you can sometimes go many maps without ever encountering the leader, even when you want to rank them up. For example, in this clip you can see I have It That Fled as the member waiting for me in research. Aisling appears after I've been searching for her for many maps, but only by chance through the portals because she is the leader. I can finally rank her up because now she is one of 2 members slain on the ground here. Additionally, in the years past, building trusted and rivalry relationships, the green and red lines, were of the utmost importance for many reasons. While they are still nice to have, as they can sometimes offer good options, and you should take the offer when given the chance so long as it doesn't mess up your board, trusted and rivalry relationships are no longer essential. I've frequently had the perfect Mastermind Safehouse prepared with only a very small amount of relationships present because I generated the Safehouse so quickly and I didn't need the relationships. Now, the Syndicate itself has a huge number of options and scenarios you can encounter, and it's unrealistic to cover them all, but here are a few pointers that will make your experience much easier. Across my 300 June runs, I completed the Mastermind Safehouse in an average of 9 maps, with a range between 2 and 21 maps. When setting up the Mastermind took a long time, it was usually because I made a big error which slowed my progress, Aisling was hidden away as the leader of a bad safehouse, or was not on my Syndicate board at all. In the Syndicate, there are 17 total members, but only 14 present on the board at any given time, with 3 out of the board in limbo. You are sometimes given the option to remove members off the board and bring in another random unidentified member from limbo. If you are still looking for an S or A tier member to bring onto your board, I generally advise you to always take the remove from Syndicate option so long as they aren't an S or A tier member in terms of profits. This increases the likelihood of moving a good member out in limbo back onto your board where you can bring them into a safe house. If you find Exling as a member or leader in the wrong safe house, as you can see on screen here, under normal circumstances you would have to imprison Exling multiple times over a few maps in order to get her unranked and available to be moved into research. However, always check what options are available from other members. In this case, Riker gave me the rare option to betray Exling, completely unranking her and saving me multiple maps of struggle. Furthermore, sometimes valuable members like Exling can be hiding away as the unidentified leader of a safe house. You can see on screen here I have a near perfect board except that there is no Exling. I had already removed and brought in many new members to no success, so in this case I suspected Exling was actually the hidden, unidentified leader of transportation. I ran the Safehouse branch and there she was, now finally identified and ready to be unranked and eventually brought into research. Finally, this node on the Atlas tree is important to talk about. It gives you 10 intelligence to a random Safehouse upon completing a map. Under most circumstances, it's valuable to have. However, sometimes you are trying to move members around and rank them up into intervention or research, and this node can actually block you from doing so. Specifically, if this node gives research or intervention intelligence, it can max out that safehouse and make that safehouse ready to be run. When a safehouse is in this ready state, not only will that syndicate encounter not appear on your maps, but its members will not appear to support other syndicate branches either. This will block your progress towards ranking members up and moving them around for usually 3 maps, which is a huge detriment to your progress. So when I start getting close to max on my safe houses, I usually unspec this node so I don't run into that problem. When farming Mastermind Safehouses for profit, it's important to understand where the currency comes from, and I can show an example at the same time. On average, I earned over 5.5 exalts in every Mastermind Safehouse. You can see I've got a great syndicate board set up here as I showed earlier, and we'll do a quick example of what the profits can look like in this board. I run the Mastermind Safehouse and kill Katarina, and she drops scarabs and in this case a valuable unique worth over 80 chaos. A large chunk of the Mastermind Safehouse profits is through selling the crafting benches to other players. You go to the TFT Discord and post a message like what I have on screen with what you got and the price, which you can gauge from just reading other people's messages. You can see I'm immediately getting messages about them, but responses will vary depending on time of day. Once someone messages you, they come into the safe house, they trade you the item, you use the bench on it, and you get your money when you give the item back. Some players don't really like the whole selling services thing, and I can understand why, but I personally really like the opportunity to chill out from mapping for a bit and sell crafts for quick, easy profits. In my mind, it feels basically no different from selling a big item for exalts. It usually takes less than 5 minutes for me to sell my services each safehouse, and I tracked all of my sales and time to complete each safehouse in my Google Sheet linked in the description. The challenge in doing this is if you're brand new to service selling on TFT and have no vouchers, you may have to price your services at a slight discount, give collateral, or stream on Discord to sell your crafts quickly because players want to know they aren't going to get scammed. On the TFT Discord, you get higher ranks depending on the number of vouchers you get from successful services, and you earn your first trusted rank after 20 vouchers. Now back to that safe house I was just running after I sold the services and opened up all the chests. When you look at the loot, I have from a single safe house over 6 exalts in profit. 3 exalts from Exling, 1 exalt from Hillock, 90 C from Verici, 2 pure Chayula Breachstones worth over 100 chaos each, a few winged scarabs worth around an exalt combined, a Katarina 80 chaos staff, and some other random items. Aside from these very common profit generators, you can also use Leo's Exalt Slam to upgrade jewels, which I frequently sold for multiple exalts. But if you're unfamiliar with that kind of market, you can just sell the crafts for around 40 chaos each. If you want a breakdown of all my loot and profit calculations, you can check out the spreadsheet in the description. Now importantly, as you can see again, after running the safe house, the intelligence in each branch has been preserved. As I described earlier, run these 2 safe houses, use the intelligence sextant on your next map, and you can immediately have another Mastermind Safehouse completed. Pretty crazy. Given how profitable Mastermind Safehouses are, I wanted to generate them as fast as possible, so I kept that in mind with my mapping strategy. On top of farming Jun, to maximize my income and time, I also employed a general concept that endgame players apply when coming up with farming strategies, which is layering multiple levels of profit generation. For me, one additional layer of profit was boss map drops. I ran tier 16 City Square, just Chisel Alctivald because I like the map and it's fast to clear. I spec'd into Searing Exarch and the nodes, which give me a chance to drop valuable maps after killing the boss. With Searing Exarch selected, I got its valuable invitation over 80 chaos at the moment every 28 maps. I chose it as the more valuable option over Eater of Worlds, especially because the Ember currencies that drop are generally more valuable as well. The additional maps after killing bosses also generate passive income and don't make running the map any longer, as things like Legion, Abyss, and Harbinger would. I also used the essence nodes on my Atlas tree. I used a remnant of corruption on every essence with a purple essence present, which has a chance to upgrade it into one of the 4 valuable corrupted essences worth between 11 and 21 chaos each. Because I was doing so many maps so quickly, I generated a huge amount of essences I could sell in bulk. And finally, one of the arch nemesis recipes that has been increasingly popular in recent days is the Temporal Bubble recipe, which drops tons of expedition currencies and heist contracts, which also formed an additional layer of profit. As you can see, I layered on other strategies of profit that didn't take too much time, so I could have additional currency and fun in maps while not taking away from my focus on Jun Syndicate missions. Now, I've talked about a whole lot in this video. The Syndicate is clearly one of the most complicated mechanics in all of PoE, but believe it or not, I think it's the most simple it's ever been since it was introduced 3 years ago. It's my favorite master mission in PoE, and this is my 3rd video for it out of necessity, given how much it has changed. As a currency farming strategy, it is incredibly unique in that it is not only super powerful, but super chill. You're not running super juiced maps, clicking a million loot drops on the ground, or fighting for your life every second against cracked beyond monsters. You're just kinda using your brain and helping people with their crafts. There is definitely a bit of a learning curve, and while I did talk about a lot of complicated concepts here, many points are really for the min-maxers, and a lot of things become intuitive after a few Mastermind Safehouse completions yourself. Since Jun is literally a free master mission, it's easy to throw it on a map, gradually figure things out, and learn more before you decide to commit with buying sextants and other things. Hopefully, while applying some of the concepts I shared here. If you give up on the Syndicate entirely, I think you'd miss out on a really fun and rewarding mechanic that can earn you great profits. I tried to make this video as short and concise as possible. If you have any questions, and you may have many, leave them in the comments below and I'll try my best to lend a helping hand. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.